Hello, dear friends. Welcome to this program, Moments with God. And I hope by watching these videos, we are becoming more and more aware of how important it is for us to go deeper into ourselves, particularly looking at our spiritual journey, spiritual life, and getting closer to God. And I hope you are, in case, enjoying the videos or also sharing them with others and asking them to subscribe for it. Thank you. If you remember yesterday, I took you through the staircase and tried to show you how sometimes climbing up is difficult, but it is good for our health. We said that difficult things sometimes bring good fruits. And today, instead of the stairs, I bring you before a cross, which of course some days ago as well, I had made a video before the cross, and then I had told you that that was in the cemetery, but this is in another hall where I am right now. And we already spoke about why this is the most important symbol of Christianity. Why I have brought this cross today is because today, once again, what Jesus is saying is little contradictory to what we normally practice. Yesterday also he spoke about blessed are the poor, blessed are the hungry, blessed are those who suffer, which sounds completely contradictory to what we normally believe or practice. And similarly, today, he is not just teaching, but he is kind of making an appeal from his heart. And he's saying, for those of you who are listening, listen, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you. Imagine, where does one find this kind of teaching? Love your enemies. He had said somewhere else in that you were told an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. But I tell you, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you. Pray for those who are against you. Pray for your enemies. This is completely turning the world upside down or turning it on its head, actually, as they say. Yeah, praying for your enemies and doing good to those who harm you. How on earth is that possible for us ordinary human beings? But Jesus was not just teaching that. Of course, another time when Peter asked him, how many times must I forgive my enemy? 7 times? And he, of course, made it very clear that you do not have to count how many times you can forgive or you must forgive. You must forgive your enemies every time. Enemies and those who do things against you. And in the prayer that he taught, Our Father, he also taught us, forgive us our sins as we forgive those who sin against us. This is, of course, a very difficult teaching that Jesus has given. And I know that I think one of the most difficult passages to put into practice from the gospel is this: to love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you. There are other teachings that are given, they may not be that difficult. For example, to pray, to fast, and things like that may be easy. But to forgive your enemies and pray for those who persecute you, my gosh, this is really very, very difficult. And I know there are a lot of people, including me, who have found it extremely difficult to put this passage into practice. We would rather ignore this, pass over it, or go over it and talk something else. But to get to the kern of it, to the bottom of this teaching, is one of the most difficult and challenging teachings of Christianity. And I think this is what makes Christianity different from others. And Jesus did not just teach this, He practiced that in his life. And this, here, the cross, is the most powerful example of his forgiving love. Not only that he hanged there on the cross for our sins, that of course, for the forgiveness of our sins, that of course, but more than that, while hanging on the cross, what beautiful words he said, and not just words, they were coming out from his heart, leaving a teaching for us in our life. Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing. Is that at all possible for us to practice in our life? Can we at least begin to look at the meaning of this? I know there are many Catholics who go to church regularly, go every day practically to church, including some priests and nuns, I am sorry to say. But they find it so difficult to practice forgiveness. And Jesus says, not just forgive your enemies, but pray for those who persecute you. This is really taking it to its maximum level, not just positively forgiving, but praying for those. I'm sure if we make this attempt to do what Jesus is appealing to whole humanity, to you and to me, I am sure we will find some way to get closer to Him. What I am talking about, our spiritual journey will become more meaningful. I wish you all the very best. Thank you.